What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the JBuck Studios channel, your home for reviews, reactions, and ridiculousness. And thank you, everyone that's tuning in right now. Let's jump over. Looks like Ryan O'Toole's already in here, a couple other people. Thank you so much. I think these channel updates I'm going to start doing live instead of recording because, I don't know, I just feel like obviously they are a little bit easier, but also it's not only like rendering and putting the graphics and getting my thoughts clearly, but also having the chat up and talking. And that intro scared me. Hopefully the music wasn't too loud for that. But anyways, what I was going to say is for these live channel updates, it's so much better to kind of go back and forth. And also, I got an example of the 2 Oscar live streams that I did. I really enjoyed that. More and more people are coming in right now. We got Future Filmmaker. What's going on? How's it going? We got Raja Tava, Trivia Theater. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys for tuning in on this. Yeah, I'm going to wait a little bit before I get into kind of the rundown. And again, this isn't going to be a long rundown. This is going to be maybe 15 minutes at tops. It's just kind of touching on things that were in my previous channel update about a month ago, and some of the things that have happened in the last month, some of the things that are happening next month, for example, South by Southwest. So yeah. Anyways, though, all of you people in the chat, what's going on? How's it going? Are you guys excited for Sonic this weekend, Fantasy Island? Let's see, what else we got here? We have Downhill or The Photograph. What are you guys trying to go see this weekend? What are you guys looking forward to? Joey's movie blog. Yo, what's up, man? Thank you so much for jumping into the chat and watching this live stream. But yeah. I guess, again, live streams are fairly new for the JBuck Studios channel for myself. I don't know, I thought that they were very intimidating, but I think getting through those 2 Oscar ones, I feel like it's more comfortable, if that makes sense. But yeah, let's get into, are you going to watch the Hero Academia movie? My Hero Academia. I don't know, man. I hear really good things about that show, but I haven't actually seen any of the anime, so I don't know. I might be on board. Future Filmmaker. I'm excited for Sonic and Fantasy Island. Yeah, I'm a little curious on how Fantasy Island is gonna go because that movie, I thought it was coming out tomorrow night, Thursday night. You know, when all of the other movies come out. But it's, unfortunately, I guess they're holding off till Friday, so I feel like it's going to be a train wreck of a movie, but hopefully a fun time at the theater. Like, you know, just a turn your brain off horror film that's just going off the rails. Ryan O'Toole, honestly, I'm more excited for Downhill than Sonic this weekend. You know what? I'm kind of hearing quite a bit of buzz about Downhill. I'm not too familiar with it. I just know that Will Ferrell's in it and Julia Louis-Dreyfus. I always mess up her name. So I'm hopefully going to see that one tomorrow. It's so good. It's bad, Fantasy Island. Yeah, I'm definitely excited for that one. So yeah, let's just, you know, we're about 5 minutes into this live stream. Let's get into kind of the channel update. And one of the big things is from my previous channel update, I had mentioned a big project coming to the channel, and that was called JBuck Live. And believe me, JBuck Live is still coming to the JBuck Studios channel. Unfortunately, when I first announced that, I think I maybe got ahead of myself. I was trying to get everything in order, and I had originally planned to launch that the first weekend, actually last weekend, one of the first 2 weekends of February. And obviously, those 2 weekends have come and passed. And I wanted to, I guess, get all of the ducks in a row, if you will. And also, I looked at the calendar leading up, and I didn't want to start this live stream, a weekly live stream type show, and then all of a sudden have a couple breaks in there. And I looked, and obviously, if some of you guys are still aware, I'm going to South by Southwest next month. That is going to take away 2 Tuesdays. So unfortunately, JBuck Live, it'd be like, hey, here's a couple weeks of the show or live show, but then it would be a couple weeks of either a recorded show or a show that just there isn't going to be a show. So I didn't want to do that where it's like, hey, I start something, you know, maybe people are getting on board, they're looking forward to it, and then all of a sudden there's 2 weeks of a break. So unfortunately, I'm not going to start JBuck Live until March 31st or April 7th, either the first week, the very last week of March, or the first week of April, because again, I don't want to have any breaks in there. And I also want to get all of the kind of transitions and segments and everything set up in that show. And if you aren't aware of what JBuck Live is going to be, it's basically going to be this weekly kind of news show, sketch show, ridiculous kind of just live stream where I'm also answering your questions. For example, Tyler Cover, Fantasy Island looks terrible. Yes, absolutely, but I'm very excited to see it. South by Southwest is a film festival down in Austin, Texas, so I'm very excited to go to that and kind of see. I mean, again, I've never been to a film festival, so that's going to be something new for me. But getting back to JBuck Live, I want to say that it's a mixture of almost like a movie talk live stream, again, sketch show, but then also segments in between or transitions that if anyone has seen the Sack Lunch Bunch from John Mulaney on Netflix, like the transitions that he does between segments are exactly the weird creativity that I want to do for this live show. So I'm very much working on weird kind of transitional segments. So, for example, if you're watching JBuck Live, all of a sudden a segment will come up and it'll be like, hey, let's guess that movie quote. And you'll have 10 seconds to, I guess the movie quote while I'm getting prepared for the next segment. But it also keeps you guys created or engaged in the content. So that's kind of what I'm working on. So, again, unfortunately, I'm moving or postponing JBuck Live for, another date. But in that time, I've figured out that JBuck Live will air on Tuesdays at 9 o'clock my time, so 9 o'clock Central Time. So actually, when this live stream started, that's going to be when JBuck Live starts every Tuesday night. So every Tuesday night, tune into this channel, and we'll have a discussion, a 30-minute to an hour, depends on how much we have to talk about, how many people are in the chat, and how many questions and whatnot. So that will be a weekly thing fully starting in April, or the very last week of March. Now, in the meantime, I'm going to do test streams to see if my computer over here will be able to not explode, and then 2, make sure the segments and the flow and everything really works. Because again, I'm going to have to go out weekly and grab news stories, make graphics, make sketches, and make transitions. So it's very much going to be this labor-intensive thing, but I want it to be perfect. So the 6 weeks leading up to this, it's going to be practice. So if you want to tune in next Tuesday, it's going to be a practice run. And then every Tuesday leading up to that. Let's go into the chat. Joey's movie blog, absolutely. Jaren, what's going on, Jaren? Yeah, Fantasy Island, for some reason, isn't coming out for myself until Friday, so I'm going to have to see it Friday morning. So that's just kind of a kick to the pants, to be honest. But yeah, JBuck Live, that is very much kind of the big thing I'm working on. Oh, and then another thing is for that show, I'm going to be putting in different segments, either sketches or JBuck classics or any other kind of weird thing that goes in this show. Because again, it's a mixture of movies, nonsense, ridiculousness, sketch comedy. And Tuesday night, the show will run, but then those segments that are put in there that are pre-recorded, those will be segmented out for a separate video on Wednesdays. So Tuesday nights will be the live show, Wednesdays will be those chunked out segments or best of moments kind of in that. So, that's kind of what I'm working on right now, kind of the big thing for that. But then moving over into another thing is Patreon. So, and a lot of people just kind of going to push that out there because I don't promote myself too much for the Patreon. But that's another way that you can help support myself, but also you get cool kind of content coming back to you. I mean, you get a separate or you get an exclusive episode monthly of Movies and Nonsense, and those are more either movies, they're very much more kind of off the rails and relaxed, and I kind of like that. But then also I figured out or I finally decided, starting 2020, the best of JBuck videos with all of the sketches and kind of fun moments for each of the months, those are going to be pushed over to Patreon. So the monthly, like, best of JBuck, obviously there's not one up right now for January. That is actually a Patreon exclusive video now. Now, don't worry, you're going to still get those videos, but they're going to be combined back to how they were into quarterly videos. So they're going to be much longer, probably about 12 minutes of, depending on how many comedy sketches and stuff I come up with. So right now, the monthly ones are Patreon only, and those Patreon people are going to be getting those coming in the next couple days. The quarterly ones, though, will come at the end of each quarter, so the end of March, June, and so on. But what was I going to say about Patreon? Oh, the Patreon tiers, too. If you're a JBuck Patreon, you're watching this right now, those tiers are going to be updated a little bit. I want to kind of give a little bit more to you guys. I want to switch things up, see things that aren't working, so I'm going to be switching those up. And again, if you want a JBuck Patreon, go over there if you want to support me. Anyways, any view, any like, any comment is much appreciated. Like, I know people are on a budget, so anything you do just to support me is going to be great. So that's Patreon. Tyler Calver, when are you starting the JBuck OnlyFans? Believe me, that is going to be a tier on Patreon. Just Patreon After Dark, or JBuck After Dark. That would just getting filthy. Let's see here. Moving on to the next thing. So I was just kind of looking on my channel, and I don't know if some of you guys have noticed, but I started this kind of, or more of these types of videos called Ending Explained Poorly. And they're kind of just a little bit of, the typical ending explained, but switching it up a little bit, throwing some jokes, so going off the rails a bit. And I've noticed that those have been doing extremely well. About in the last month, just those videos have done better than my first full year on YouTube, which is awesome, but also a huge kick to the pants, because it's like, oh, I spent a year doing this stuff, and a 1 month is better than that full year. So obviously, with that, with the fact that it's getting engagement, it's getting views, it's getting watch time, those are going to become more of a focus on my channel. And looking at the calendar, obviously, and it's hard not to do these for non-horror films, but we have Fantasy Island coming up, we have Brahms the Boy 2, Invisible Man, and then The Hunt. So there's going to be quite a few weeks coming up that are going to be having Ending Explained Poorly videos, because I actually really kind of enjoy doing them. They take a lot more work and time, but the payoff is wonderful. But then, I'm still doing the normal trailer reactions, the movie reviews. Some of the JB classics are going to be put into JBuck Live, but then segmented out. And then another big thing on my channel is Movies and Nonsense, my podcast that is every other week right now. And then there's also the monthly exclusive Patreon one. Now, for Movies and Nonsense, that takes a lot more time because I'm needing to schedule people. And I've reached out to a handful of people, but I want to ask you guys, who do you want to see on Movies and Nonsense? Fellow reviewers, because again, I'm in this sphere of kind of people I'm familiar with. I know that there's a ton of other cool creative people out there that I'm maybe not aware of. So let me know, if you're watching this now, if you're watching this later, let me know who you would like to see me sit down with, kind of talk about movies and literally just anything and everything they want to talk about. But then another thing is topics and questions. I would love to get topics that you want myself and the guests to talk about, but then also questions, because I like asking these people questions, sort of, either about entertainment or movies or TV, but also going out of the box and doing some random off-the-cuff questions as well, because it's just interesting to kind of feel or see how these people either react to the question or what they have to say about the question. So yeah, I very much, again, I said last time in this channel update, and I'm going to say it again in this one, I very much want to put more effort into those Movies and Nonsense. And one that I just did that was a very fun one was with Bongo from Dan Jensen's channel. It was a ridiculous conversation. We went off the rails. It's a very fun video. I would recommend checking that out. That's very much new on the channel. So yeah, I would say JBuck Live, the Patreon, the movies and nonsense. I'm trying to think of what else I got here. But yeah, I want to get some new people on this channel. And there's a couple people in the chat right now that I very much need to reach out to. I'm just horrible at scheduling things. But then new stuff on the channel that just posted, the Horse Girl review from Netflix. We have the Horse Girl ending explained poorly. We have, oh God, I don't even know what I did this week. But newer stuff that's coming just, I guess, this week is, Sonic, Fantasy Island, Photograph Downhill, Fantasy Island Ending Explained. And then, look, I think tomorrow, A24 is releasing a trailer for The Green Knight, I believe, which takes place, like, back in King Arthur times, and it looks like it might be a trippy story of sorts. So there's going to probably be a trailer reaction for that. But then, yeah, just kind of typical reviews coming for the future weeks. Reactions are very much spontaneous. I don't really have much lead up to those. And trailer reactions are very much kind of time-based. The quicker you get them up, the more views you're going to get. But I don't want to sacrifice quality. So I might be testing in the next month or two, just filming my reaction here on my computer without my green screen background and see how that works. Because again, for example, Tyler, if you're still in the chat, I don't know how the hell you get those trailer reactions up so quick, but my God, I commend you for that, because it is tough to get that reaction done, clean, edited, and uploaded quickly. So I'm very envious of how you get those up so quickly. But yeah, that's kind of the quick channel update, just kind of what's coming to the channel. Again, JBuck Live is going to be a couple dry runs for the next probably month, a couple weeks off for South by Southwest, and then it's going to go full-time, full production at the end of March 31st, or April 7th. So it's going to be one of those two times. The movie Oracle just jumped in. What did I miss? Unfortunately, you missed pretty much everything. But it's JBuck Live, oriented movies and nonsense, ending to explain newer stuff on this channel. But then again, South by Southwest, hopefully for that 2 weeks that I'm gone, I'm going to have pre-recorded stuff, or the place that I'm staying, I'm able to set up things for live streams or trailer reactions. Hopefully the internet, hopefully the Wi-Fi or the internet actually works for me. But then there's other reviewers that I have yet to ask or even talk to. The secret is lots of caffeine, so I work fast. Hey man, I need to pump some coffee through my veins. But what I was saying is, down at South by Southwest, there's a handful of other film critics, film people in the community that we're aware of, or everyone is kind of familiar with. Hopefully I can get in contact with them and either do videos with them, reviews with them, or movies and nonsense with them. And I'm trying to think off the cuff. Right now we have Zach Pope, probably, Sean Chandler, Griffin from Film Speak, Anthony from Silver Screen, Rama Screen. Hell, there's probably people I don't even know are going to be there, but I really hope that I can actually meet these people in real life, because it's so weird, because it's like everyone is watching and I'm watching them, but I've never actually met them in person. So it would be delightful to actually just meet some of these people and also make new connections. There's a lot of people that are doing reviews and film stuff on YouTube. So I guess that's kind of the quick update. I'm sorry if you just got into this. God, I just had a brain fart. I'm sorry if you just jumped into this and you missed everything. You can play a quick backlog of it. It's only going to be about 15-20 minutes. If any of you guys have questions, let me know in the chat right now or whatever. If this doesn't look right, if it looks horrible, if the sound is off, let me know. But yeah, that's kind of the quick update, because again, I could have filmed a video. I didn't want to, because rendering on my computer, taking the green screen out, it takes like 40 minutes, and I just didn't have 40 minutes in my life right now, so I thought it'd just be better also to get comfortable talking on screen into the actual microphone and stuff. Are there any films at South by Southwest you are looking forward to seeing? Tyler, I need to very much look into the schedule. I know that some of the big ones that are going to be there are the one Pete Davidson 9/11 film. I don't know if it's a documentary or just a film based around that concept, because I know that his dad was a firefighter. And unfortunately passed in that tragic event. But then there's also the Lovebirds, I think, from God, what's his name? The guy from Eternals and the Big Sick. Oh my gosh, Camille Nanjiani. His film is going to be there, and I think that that's where it premieres. But also, I'm curious if maybe Quiet Place 2 and some other ones, and then obviously a lot of smaller stuff, because people that went off the Sundance, hell, they had a lot of videos, a lot of movies that they were able to see. So hopefully South by Southwest is a fun experience. I hope I know what the hell I'm doing, because again, I've never been to a film festival. I'm not 100% press. I am, unfortunately, I think, just a casual person being there, so I don't know if there's certain events and lines and barriers that I'm going to run into. So hopefully other people that have been there are going to be able to kind of guide me through that. If no one else has any more questions, though, I'm definitely going to just wrap this up. Again, I wanted it to be a quick channel update. Just kind of letting you know that, there's a lot of stuff that I've been trying new on this channel. A lot of stuff has been working, so I'm focusing more on that. For example, Ending Explained Poorly, and then also JBuck Live, a lot of dry run episodes, a lot of kind of practice, and then we're going full steam ahead on the actual live show March 31st or April 7th. You'll definitely get updates between then. Again, I'm just trying to prep all of this graphical work and transitions and writing, because writing is kicking my ass right now, because it's like I need to turn my phone off, I need to turn off my computers, all that crap, and then just focus and write stuff down. So that's kind of the big thing I'm working on right now. Anyways, though, everyone that's tuned in right now, like this, commented down below. If you, again, those creatives, other reviewers, content creators that you would love to see on Movies and Nonsense, let me know in the comments down below. Anyways, though, that is my quick kind of channel update and everything like that. Brand new reviews again tomorrow. I think Sonic review, Sonic and Downhill, and then continuing with some more through the weekend. Anyways, though, as always, you guys have a great time. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.